Oh, no, come on. Really?
What?
I mean, black and white is one thing, but this is just taking the piss.
Not again! Maybe moment!
Our finale for next month will be our 100th episode.
Ah, very cool.
We might need to do something special about it. I don't know what yet. Anyway. A cake. Mm-hmm. A delirium cake.
Delirium cake.
Yeah. A cake in the shape of a sofa.
With 3 men on the couch. Well, you could get rid of the third one because it's sometimes not there.
No.
Yeah, we need a cake made by this. 2 couches.
Excuse us discussing cake.
Welcome back to Maybe Cakes.
Okay.
I'm your host, Chris.
There is a cuckoo in the nest.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are starting now. Welcome back to our final show of the month and our delve into Act 3 of The Count of Vendetta. Oh, yes, yeah. This is for one of our other supporters, one of our other friends from the UK Tubers.
Oh, yes.
Facebook group. This is for James, James Pittaway. He's had a number of channels. He does kind of lifestyle and family stuff.
Oh, right.
Which is quite interesting. He had another channel that was more focused on his family, and then his current one is just about him and them by extension.
Oh, I see. Right.
But worth a look. He's always very honest and very down to earth. So, James, hope you're doing all right, buddy. And thanks, as always, for your continued support.
Thank you.
And to everyone else out there as well, if you are new to the channel, then please do consider sticking around. We'd love to see you. And most importantly, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be kept apprised of upcoming content. I actually remembered to do it at the start of the fucking episode for a change.
Yeah. Yay. We's professional ass.
Whew, I've not got a lot on this.
Oh, yeah.
Should I begin with the plan?
This part of the original film goes kind of almost seamlessly into tearing down Danglars.
Yes.
Which doesn't take long. It's like 5-6 minutes or something in the film. It's not that much of it at all. Because he's kind of seeded that all the way, up to that point. He's gained his trust.
Yeah.
And he knows how he's going to act.
So what do you think then?
I mean, if we were allowing that Jacopo and Ali are his proxies, they would have fulfilled that role.
Oh, yes, ruining him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just the final kind of confrontation that we need to...
Yes, obviously, because in Monte Cristo he got committed, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's not going to be enough for V, is it?
No. Because he comes to visit him, and then when he realises who he is, it just...
I want to say that he chokes him to death with his own money.
Just shoves the money
down
in
his throat and chokes him to death on it.
Rolls of cash?
Yeah, proper bankroll.
Proper
down the throat, yeah.
Okay, so he's ruined him, but Danglars, being the kind of greedy arsehole that he is, has probably got some funds that he can escape with, so it's as he's trying to get away.
Yes, of course, yes, I wasn't thinking. Yes, yeah.
So, there's like the scene where you see V jumping across the roof of the church.
Yes.
So I can just imagine him jumping like that onto the carriage as they're riding out of Paris, having a fight with his having a fight with his coachman.
Yes, dispatching the coachman.
Yeah.
And then just yes.
And then just lovely.
Yeah, like like in Alien when Ash rolls up the magazine and tries to shove it down Ripley's throat, but with a bankroll of money.
Fantastic.
I like it, yeah.
And again, it doesn't take up that much time at all because it's in those last 20 minutes, and most of that is the courtroom scene. Oh, that and the duel.
Yes.
Which is the next thing we need to decide about is, are we still going to get the duel?
No, I'd say we should keep the duel in then.
Because it's a matter of honour, how honourable is V. Obviously, honour has more of it's a mark of more respect in the time that we are now.
Yes.
So it's like figuring out how much of that would V...
Would he care about a duel and about the honour loss
because of how he handled Albert's fake capture? That he's seen that good in him.
Yeah.
That kind of answers the question that yes, he would.
I see, right.
We've
of
answered the
course,
question
because
before, I had
Albert
to
would
ask
be
you.
dishonoured if he refused the duel as well.
Yes.
I see, of course.
But I didn't know whether if we wanted to feed into still the idea of V hiding in the shadows, that there's never actually a...
Yeah.
He does as a public chat, I am going to be here with my seconds if you dare appear.
To a duel.
Yeah. Because that can then lead into the police grabbing him.
Of course, yes.
But they don't know the Count's true identity yet at this point, don't they?
They know that there is a criminal running around killing...
Can't he say, I will unveil as well? If you show up, I will unveil and show my true identity. And
No,
people
it's
can-
Albert that makes the challenge, not V.
Oh, right. Oh!
Yes, sorry,
It's
yeah.
the young man
Oh,
making the
yeah,
challenge,
yeah.
not V.
Well, shut
But
your mouth.
Albert does know who he is, because he's Evie's son, right?
He does know who he is, but maybe he can't find him because he's always in the shadows. He just disappears.
Yeah, so maybe he threatens to unmask him, as it were. Threatens to name him.
Yeah.
Thing to force V to confront him.
I shall reveal that you are James Purefoy.
That tickles you so much, doesn't it?
It should be played by James Purefoy.
You should reckon.
In this concept,
Yeah, this is... Yeah, okay.
we wrote this for James Purefoy.
But voiced by Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hugo, we love you really, but yeah, it's just too good to pass up. Okay, so we get our
I'm good, thank you very much, then.
duel.
With the police lying in wait, honour must be served. So are we still saying this is all part of V's plan? Again, I've got half an idea. I don't know whether it would work. Thought because he wears a mask. When he gets arrested and taken to court, he's still in his mask because of what's underneath it. But it's not him in the mask at all. It's somebody like Jacopo or somebody else, so that he can turn up, and then you'd get everybody else in the gallery turns up with masks.
Oh.
Because I would say yes, the establishment thing sees him and are trying to paint him as a criminal, but the people are saying, well, actually,
He's taking down these
corrupt people, yeah. So they all turn up with masks and solidarity, and he's actually one of the ones hidden in the thing.
And there's nothing wrong with using a bit of V for Vendetta in this as well.
Exactly.
Well, that's
Yeah, gold star.
yeah. Star.
More popcorn?
Oh, thank you. Popcorn. Now, how does this end?
That's the thing, isn't it?
Which involve a tree.
Oh no, we're not there yet. We've still got some.
That's how it should end.
That's how it should end. Which again, I never. It's only since we've been doing this that I actually picked up on that line in V for Vendetta that he says. I think it's after the God is in the rain bit.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "There's no tree waiting for me."
No.
He says it to Evie, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I never got the reference before because when I first saw V, I hadn't seen this particular version of Monte
Oh, I
Cristo.
see. Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's no tree waiting for me. Yeah.
Are we saying then, if we're happy with that, then so it's actually Jacopo who does the duel, and
Brains him.
and Albert does what he does because he loves, he respects him so much.
So Albert's not able to go through with it like in this
Yes,
version.
and then the police jump out, grab hold of him, and take him away to court.
But on the day of the trial, when
On the day of the trial, yes, they all turn
everybody
up.
turns up with the masks on.
Yes, I suppose it would have to be like as the climax of de Villefort's prosecution. We're going to unmask the criminal, and then it's not him. And at which point, then what do we want? Do we want V to then come out of the crowd?
Assassin's Creed style.
It feels like that's where it has to go because V is not Edmund. He's not going to win his way with words.
No.
He might make a speech, but ultimately the blade speaks for him, doesn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, I think he would step out of the crowd.
So we just sideline the story with de Villefort's daughter.
Maybe that's going on in the background.
Yes. We don't really need to do a huge amount about it because they only really kind of make an issue of it right at that moment anyway, and it's resolved pretty much straight away.
Yeah, exactly. But I think maybe it's like one of those things that maybe goes on in the background, but ultimately comes to nothing because the unmasking forces or causes V to step out from the crowd, and the trial is no longer a trial. It's a final confrontation.
I mean, it could even just be that his point of view is like, well, she would be better off without him anyway.
Ah, yes.
From his point of view.
Yes, of course.
Okay, yes, her reputation may be slightly tarnished, but Albert has preserved his honour. She's going to marry Albert, so she's going to be better off anyway.
And he's no longer there to taint her life.
Exactly.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. He'd have to, wouldn't he?
And then we get this fight between them in the courtroom. It's a fantastic place to have a duel in a court, but is he going to get gunned down in the process?
Realistically, he would. Could it be somewhere a bit more isolated?
Well, hang on a minute. We've got a courtroom full of masked people. He could disappear back into as the soldiers burst in, the crowd erupts and there's commotion in there and in the confusion.
Like in the TV studio.
Yeah, and it slips away amongst all the masks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, grabs Evie.
That's when they'll have the chest full of all of the evidence against him.
Yeah.
And then it's up to us, how do we want it to end?
I feel like he could, like you say, it's just like that BTN bit where he gets away with all the people with the masks and just slips away.
Yeah. The perfect getaway.
Yeah.
Shall it end with them on a tree? V and Evie on a tree.
I know you've wanted
I really want this tree.
Nice idea. It's just, he is obviously scarred beyond recognition.
But Evie never sees his true face
No.
in the V for Vendetta, so we could end it that she doesn't see his face at all in this one.
We could do it that way, where he takes the mask off and then it just goes to end credits.
Yeah.
The end, question mark.
Well, you say that. I did notice on YouTube they did make a Son of Monte Cristo.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've never
It's
seen
called
it.
The Son of Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
No, I never heard of it.
They did a lot of legacy lines. This was way of doing sequels in the 30s,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
So we still get the find your own tree.
Is that what happens? Is that while they're on the tree?
I think it needs to be a little bit. It doesn't need to be so
Can they be
silver
watching
screen.
fireworks from the tree?
They're sat in the tree watching the fireworks of Valentine and Albert's wedding.
Yeah, that's how you end it.
Cool. So
We got there?
we got there twice. We got both of them fixed. So we're going to take 2 seconds to have a mull before we cast our vote. So fade to black. What are our star counts for deciding who casts their vote first? I'm going on 5.
Going on 4.
Oh, what? For the stars, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm on 2.
Okay, so you get to cast your vote first.
Ah.
And don't forget to show you're working out.
Oh, no, I always hate doing that.
I'm going to say MC for Monte Cristo. I think generally I just enjoyed that one more. Personally, it was a better mashup with those two in that world compared to what we just discussed about. So
Okay.
that would be one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. We managed to make this work surprisingly well, but I think the more interesting story is in MC for Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
Is it unanimous?
We are of one mind. MC for Monte Cristo would be my choice as well. There's a lot more scope with Edmond Dantes as a character to fit him into a modern context and do some really interesting and wonderful things with the basic plot of V.
Yeah.
V in this setting, it feels like we're trying to shoehorn things in more to make it work.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree. Yes. Yeah. We did have to work harder for it. Didn't we?
Yeah. But also, I think I enjoyed our working out with the first one. It felt, I think we felt a lot more invested
Yes.
in making that one work.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Cool. Can we take these off now?
Does this mean I'm the leader?
Oh, I'm the leader. I've got 5 stars.
But I've got the golden mask.
Yeah.
The man in the golden mask.
You can be the man in the golden mask, but I'm the power behind the throne. Apparently. For us, MC for Monte Cristo is our vote for this month's Maybe Movie, but now it's over to you guys. Our poll is still running and will be running for the next day or so. Please get in, watch the episodes, have a think about it, and then cast your vote either on our Twitter feed. It'll be pinned to the top, or if you are a patron, then there will be a poll running on there as well. At the beginning of the pitch meeting next week, we will announce who is the overall winner. But obviously 3 on one side.
It'd be hard to tip it in any other way.
Absolutely. I'm not feeling tired. Are you feeling tired? Not that it ever makes any difference. It just kind of comes over us.
Nothing's happening.
And he's still here.
What are we going to do this time then?
Well, I mean, we've got options. Obviously, we've got Nosy Dicey.
Yeah.
We've got Pens in Binsy. You weren't here for that. That's great fun. Just throwing pens in a bin, seeing who can get the most in. If we're feeling particularly masochistic, then we do have Nosy Spicy, which...
Yeah.
It's like Nosy Dicey, but with peppers. Possibly, there's always dancing.
Ba 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 ba.